I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Petrina Tam from the Hong Kong Chamber of Commerce, who will be discussing the Greater Bay Area and opportunities for technology investment. Welcome, Petrina.
So good afternoon, and I'm excited to talk about the Greater Bay Area, which is in the southern of China. So it may be a new term to some of you here because I can see a lot of you are from overseas, and but it's not a new term in Hong Kong, and but just an intro to some of you who may not know what exactly does it mean by the Greater Bay Area, or we call it the GBA. It actually means we call 9+2. It means the 9 cities in Guangdong area plus Hong Kong and Macau. So what are the 9 cities? Is you can see here, if the name means anything to you, is Shaoqing, Foshan, Guangzhou, Huizhou, Dongguan, Shenzhen, Zhongshan, Jiangmen, Zhuhai, and plus Hong Kong and Macau. So you may say these 9 cities already, existed for a long time, and now what's the big deal? What's this GBA initiative all about? What difference will it bring, for investors? So this GBA initiative is actually a strategic development plan driven by the central government of China, and as well as has cascaded down to local and regional levels. And the goal is really to build an economic Bay Area which can rival the world-renowned like New York and Tokyo Bay Area. So why is it so huge a thing everybody's talking about? Is because if you look at this Greater Bay Area, it has got Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong, and each of them have got a very big GDP, and it is nowhere in the world you can find 3 cities so close to each other. And not only is it close to each other and can drive the nearby cities, it actually also carry with it a 3 parallel city cluster, like we say that the 3 layers, and in a sense that each of the 11 cities has its own characteristics. Like Guangzhou is strong in education and R&D, and Shenzhen, of course, high-tech industry. Dongguan, Foshan, and other neighbor cities excel in advanced manufacturing. And of course, Hong Kong is the leader in finance and high-end services. And Macau is like a leisure hub. So all these 11 cities, we are saying if they join forces, efforts, and complement each other, and then they can all seek innovative growth. So I see this myself as tremendous opportunities for Hong Kong and the world investors and tech companies. So why? What are the synergies? Why, now the difference? So I can see, 5 areas of synergies in the sense of system, finance, technology, talents, and infrastructure. But a lot of people will challenge saying that, because it's one country, 2 system, there is difference in taxes and customs. So actually, there is a lot of obstacles to merge these 11 cities and make it go in one direction. But we are seeing things are changing. Like in the system, the GBA cities are exploring, reforms towards a much more modern legal framework. Like, for example, in Nansha, in Guangzhou, they already set up an international arbitration center, which follows international law for providing arbitration services. And also, you heard about probably Tencent doing a Greater Bay Area electronic ID card, which helps people move around. And of course, in finance, I don't think I need to say a lot. Hong Kong, because of all these, cluster of banks and security houses and funds and venture capital, and of course, with a lot of startups locally and globally, and also close to China, it has got a complete ecosystem to nurture all these tech companies and startups. So on the technological and innovation, what's the synergy of this Greater Bay Area? Is that we hope the Greater Bay Area can make the best of the innovative power with all the universities and research institutions in this area. For example, in Hong Kong, we have the University of Science and Technology. They are the place where this Dajiang, which produced like 70% of the world drones, started in Hong Kong, and then it grew in Shenzhen. So like Tencent, we PwC, I'm from PwC, Pricewaterhouse International Accounting Firm, help it list it and become a giant. And also, we also in Hong Kong help Alibaba list in Hong Kong and the US. So with all these talents in Hong Kong and Guangzhou, maybe you don't know, it has got very good universities, and 16% of the Guangzhou University actually fall into the category of science, research, and technological services. So we are saying that in Shenzhen, of course, we see many tech company incubators, research institutes, all set up by globally renowned companies or prestigious universities. So if we apply all these people's innovative power and produce new products and new materials and new services and bring to the manufacturing capabilities as well in the peripheral cities, we can build actually an international science and innovative corridor. So along the axis of, if you look at the previous slide, there is an axis of Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou. So if you draw a line there in the axis, we say the three big city become, the Chinese word Wang means the trump card of China. So China is using this as a trump card and push our technology research results into productivity by the manufacturing capabilities in the Greater Bay Area as well. So you will say, oh, you're very bullish. So what are we really seeing? Are the synergies really working? So maybe I share with you some of my personal experience. Actually, in the past few weeks and months, I've been going to the Greater Bay Area, different cities like Qianhai, Hong Kong, Nansha, Zhongshan, Foshan, and Zhuhai. Every day of every week, I'm going in there. Why? Because to meet a lot of the startups and a lot of the governments who are putting up new projects, because all these cities are growing. It's not like Hong Kong. Hong Kong is very mature, and we may say is already a bit saturated, that we see young people, being frustrated, don't know where to go, where's a growth area. But in the Greater Bay Area, a lot of these cities are competing. They're trying to stand out, and all of the governments, they are doing a lot of infrastructure projects, building convention centers, industrial parks, science parks, and also there are so much startups there. And every day I meet brilliant startups having great ideas. And they're sort of like in the past quite hidden in China. They got a lot of secret formulas in medtech. For example, I just met a software company. They have these a huge supercomputer which helps them to simulate using complicated mathematical calculations and so on. These are very useful tools which can help a lot of investors to make investment decisions, resource allocations, and so on. But the problem is a lot of these startup companies in China, they got very strong core technology, but they don't know how to bring these to the commercial sector. And so in Hong Kong, we got the knowledge of app knowledge. We know what the people want. We know the market. And we got professional services to help them package, help them commercialize. So what I'm saying here is that the Hong Kong people, they bring the international investors and tech company and go into the Greater Bay Area, work with these core technology or startups there, and they got land and human resources, and they are a lot of the places got very good government support. In fact, a lot of Hong Kong people go into Shenzhen because they find more support and more open there to support young people. So, and of course, they got the new market. I'm actually amazed at the growth, the fast growth of consumer purchasing power in China. That they say easily one product with a distribution channel, they can sell like millions and thousands, like even a pair of children fashionable shoes. They say, oh, we can easily sell it, like 10 million in 2 weeks. And they got this health product, like a honey product, which they say help cure stomach ulcer or prevent cancer, whatever. They say, oh, we don't need to go to any channel. We don't need to use, the Taobao or whatever e-commerce platform. We just sell it ourselves, and everybody will you will buy it. Actually, I think the middle income group is growing very fast in southern China. And I met an e-commerce company that they were able to grow to 50 cities within like 2 years. And their value, like after ABCDE finance, the valuation of that company actually grew from maybe 10 million to 100 million and then billion. And then after financing, they're already a unicorn within 2 years. And it's run by a very young person born in the 80s. So I keep meeting these people and these brilliant startups. Like some of them got a quick detection tool can detect cancer at early stage. It's a self-use kit, so it's amazing. And or they can use a self-test to test your blood vessel blockage or something. They got a lot of med tech, and I must say, there are a lot of these hidden, like scientists and technologists and people in China, especially in the Greater Bay Area, where we really need to, explore and check it out. So the message here is that we need to go to the market together, not just, work on it ourselves. We need to know the local market in China. We need to bring the international expertise, plus the professional services, plus all the finance and network we have, and then we can nurture and create more future bets. Bet, of course, it means Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent, not bets. Okay, so what else can we do in the Greater Bay Area? As I said, every city in the Greater Bay Area is competing to stand out, and they are becoming more and more developed and compact. And Hong Kong being a highly urbanized and developed city, we've gone through all these developments, like how we plan the city, how we do the sewage system, the management and project management, and we are all good at these. So we can bring a lot of these, infrastructure and public management services, including the tech aspect, to each of the tech city, each of the Greater Bay Area cities. Actually, like we Pricewaterhouse have been actually doing master plan for some of the industrial parks in China and in Southeast Asian countries. You may be surprised, why an accounting firm doing all these. Actually, we also aware that the world is changing, it's very disruptive. We gotta diversify, and we can't just go on at traditional services like auditing and tax. We need to go out and do whatever the market needs. So but a lot of these industrial parks we call 产业园 or cities, they need international and new ideas to bring to them to distinguish themselves from the other cities. So it gives us work. So that gives us work, and it needs a lot of technology element in that too. So in terms of healthcare, of course, elderly care is a high growth area, as pointed out by a lot of you. But we can also bring in the tech element, like using robots and so on. And the 9 cities, I said Jiangmen and Foshan, are some of the area which is like designated for building elderly home, and we can build it into the smart facilities into these projects. So, of course, in the finance area, there are Hong Kong again and international have already developed a lot of what we call insurtech or fintech, and we are good at like direct tech, keep them, compliant and manage risk and internal control. So all these are our value and experience we can bring to the Greater Bay Area when they are, are badly in need of these. So, of course, when we talk about tech, we have to talk about AI. So, actually, AI is a bit difficult. Hong Kong, of course, is lagging behind on here, and we need to catch up. But it's not easy because really attracting AI talent is very difficult. Although Hong Kong has a speedy talent immigration program, but Tencent, no, not Tencent, but Shenzhen today just issue a new rules that it's automatic. You come here. All you need is to come here. So it's not easy, but it doesn't mean we should give up hope. So I think Hong Kong need to, really put our acts together. So to do what? So let's look at what other countries are doing on AI. If you look at the AI investment other countries are putting it in 2017, France is leading. And then Korea, UK, and Japan, and so on. Canada, every government is putting money into AI. Of course, US already invested a lot. It's not in that the highest 2017 investment in AI. But Hong Kong government is also investing like 10 billion in AI and robotics, and also 10 billion in science park and so on. And I think startups in Hong Kong can apply, try to apply for these funds, and then next day you say, oh, it's very difficult, they never approve it. I've heard it's improving, okay? They just changed the head or something. I don't know. Anyway, so it's improving. But what we need to do, and what we suggest to do, like this whole forum here, is that Hong Kong tech people should gather the AI from the international, bring them here, and then also bring in the GBA AI talents and build a pool of AI talents here, start the R&D and data management, and also data research and so on. Because why Hong Kong? People will say, oh, of course everybody go to Shenzhen. There's a lot of tech companies here. Why build the data and the AI in Hong Kong? Because Hong Kong has free data flow. So that's why Hong Kong is good, because it's near to the international. And we use the international like yourselves here to attract the GBA talents here. And because we are making the West and the East bridge them. So we need to, gather, put our acts together and really, work it on. So what's the final message here? Is that the GBA blueprint, the 大湾区规划, the central government's development plan for this 9+2 will be issued very soon. I heard maybe 18th of June or early July. So it will set out a much clearer, positioning for each of the 9 cities, and hopefully it will give some breakthrough preferential policy for Hong Kong and Macau investors. And that, of course, with all the new, infrastructure happening, like Hong Kong-Macau Bridge, it will start in 1 July, reducing traveling time from Hong Kong to Zhuhai from 4 hours to 1 hour, or from Hong Kong to Huizhou, reducing it from 3 hours to 1 hour. So all these happening will bring us closer to each other, break down the location difference barrier, break down the system barriers, and then we hope it's a whole new world, and then the landscape is changing, and each of us should develop our own 9+2 strategy. What is the 9+2 for us? I think we all, for ourselves, need a vision, use your creativity, have energy, use your industry knowledge, put in an act, and then be brave and go into Greater Bay Area. And there are lots and lots of opportunities everywhere, whether from the public or from the private sector, or by collaborating with your network. So be part of us, and hopefully everyone be a game changer. Thank you.